Good evening. Welcome, anybody that's joining me. It's Jane here from the Cornish Knitter. I did say I'd hop on here and do a quick live, just answering some queries that people had about the new Cornish Knitter Online Community that I'm creating, and just just giving you some background as to why I wanted to create it and some of the inspiration behind it and what to expect if you become part of my flock. So my background is that I've worked in sort of community development and public health for a number of years, sort of just thinking about how I can reduce social isolation, create more inclusive communities, bring people together. And that's been my professional career. You know, I was taught to knit at an early age. My mum and my grandma taught me to knit, and I've always used my knitting and my crafting as a way of connecting with people. I've moved around a lot with my work, and it's always been the thing that I can use to actually meet new people and connect with them. So it was just, how do I sort of think about bringing those two elements of what I do together through the sort of connections I've made with you guys through this wonderful YouTube channel. And if you are watching, because I've seen a few of you have joined me, do say hi, tell me where you're from. If you've got any questions about the community, this is it, just type them in and I'll try and answer them for you as we go along. So as I was saying, yeah, my background is that community development, and doing that work has really shown me the power of community. So from a community development perspective, we are always sort of looking at the needs of the people and then sort of how you could facilitate something. So from talking to you guys on YouTube and doing the knit-alongs and also the lovely stitch-up meetings that we have in the shop, I know that a number of you knit for a variety of reasons. And some people say, somebody from Mississippi, love watching your channel. Thank you. And Sue, hiya, and Tracy, and Linda. So some of these people, I think, have already signed up to our waiting list. So Anne from Ashford in Kent. So lovely to see you on this Friday evening. So I was just explaining sort of the community development piece, and just my experience of coming on here, some of your comments, because I talk very openly and honestly about my experiences as a more mature knitter who maybe sort of feels that we get overlooked a little bit. And I think one of the ladies that comes and knits in the shop, she sort of said to me when she told her sister that she was taking up knitting, the sort of sister's reaction was that she was going to be this little old lady that sits in the corner knitting, and that's so not who she is. And I can really sort of empathize with that, and I understand how that feels, and I talk quite openly, as you know, about it on my channel. So I wanted to recreate what we experience in the shop, really, that sort of sense of belonging, that sense of community, the support that people give, the inspiration that people give, that ability to learn from each other. I'm still looking over in the corner here, so Jackie and Judith join me. Hiya. So I'm so glad some of you are going to join in with the community. So the idea was beginning to come to me, and particularly after I did a video back at the end of last year, I think, when I crossed 5,000 subscribers. And as to be part of the giveaway, I asked people what the knitting community meant to them. And I can honestly say some of those comments actually moved me to tears. And that is really genuine, because they were so heartfelt. And there's so many of you that feel like I do about both the yarn and the knitting, our feelings about getting older as well, and being part of this community and how we're perceived. But also, you know, sort of relate to some of the things that I talk about how I change things in patterns. Maybe they're not designed with an older person's body in mind, but how I would adapt things and change things. And then I bring in friends to talk to you too, like Fran and Nikki, and there are others. So I just, the comments that came back to me demonstrated to me that there's an awful lot of women who feel like I do, but also there's an awful lot of you that don't live near any friends, couldn't attend a Stitchers meetup or go to your local yarn shop. And actually, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could create something that was online, but also a bit more magaziney, and sort of that you could get involved in as a community, rather than me just providing you with content with my thoughts and my feelings and what I think you'll like. Actually, wouldn't it be great if you could start telling me, actually, this would be really good, or can we do something around this? And then I can try to start either pulling other people in to do that content or do it myself, however that works. And also to be able to link up locally. So if you're based in Australia or America or Canada, that you could link up with people locally through this community, and maybe even meet face to face as well, or buddy up with somebody who was sort of local to you. So the idea was sort of generated from that. And as I said, I've seen how the power of community can really sort of transform people's lives. So that's why I sort of wanted to create an online community rather than do something like Patreon, which is great for people that do it, but it still felt like it was going to be you listening to me. And I can see your comments and things, and I can respond, and it's lovely to see them. But actually, wouldn't it be so much better if we could actually talk to each other face to face, or we can communicate in a way that actually means that you can get to shape what that looks like? So that was where it came from. That was my sort of core principles. So I just want to be the sort of facilitator, sort of host, gatherer, whatever. I can do some teaching, I can do some coaching on there. But it's a place where you can come, you can meet people, we can meet virtually, but also you can learn, you can actually start to say what content you would like, and we can actually start to develop it from there. So that was the idea behind it. And that's why Patreon wasn't going to work for what I wanted, because it still wasn't participatory enough for me. So we've been busy creating this platform and the sorts of things that we're going to have on it. And forgive me, I'm going to turn my piece of paper over because I've made some notes to just keep reminding myself what it all means. I've been so immersed in it. So there's going to be sort of traditional sort of video content from me in terms of just keeping you up to date with what I'm up to, behind the scenes at the shop, my trips around Cornwall, some more extended sort of stuff around sort of my travels and trips around Cornwall, maybe speaking to local Cornish people and sort of that sort of stuff. So that's going to be sort of on there. I'll still do the YouTube normal videos that I do on YouTube, and some of the knit alongs. That will continue in exactly the same way, but this content will be slightly different. We're going to have masterclasses on there. So we're going to invite people on to actually run masterclasses around certain techniques. We're going to have top tips and tricks. So people like Fran will come on and talk you through every step of how to use Knit Companion, for example, or Ravelry. We're going to have pattern reviews. We're going to have yarn reviews. We're going to have regular challenges on there. So we're going to knit things together, and we're also going to have knit alongs. And then we're going to have things like Member of the Month and sort of celebrations for members, and sort of where you can share your inspiration. We're going to do book reviews. There's a stash buster section on there where you can start to exchange yarn that you may have in your stash that is beautiful, but you no longer have a use for it. So you can sort of start to either swap it or sell it online with other people. And we're also going to have some lifestyle content. So my background in health, I'll bring on people that can talk about sort of women's health, particularly because I know most of our following is female. So it's going to sort of contain that sort of educational, and we're going to do regular Zoom meetings so we can all meet up and literally knit together at certain times. So it's going to contain all of that sort of normal content, but with a lot more in it as well. And as the community starts to grow, and I think so far we've got nearly 200 of you signed up on the waiting list. We want more. But as our community begins to grow, then my hope is that we'll start to see from you guys saying, you know, actually, we'd really love somebody to come in and talk to us about this. And we're also going to do a Meet the Maker section. So I'm going to introduce you to people that either make yarn or design patterns, and it will give you the opportunity to listen to them and maybe ask them some questions about, you know, their career or what their processes are. And I'm also going to reach out to you as members and perhaps do some interviews with some of you as members. You know, why do you knit? Who taught you to knit? What bad habits do you have? What do you like to knit? All of those sorts of questions, which I think we'd all love to know from each other, wouldn't we? Because that's the sort of thing we talk about in the shop. So that's a rattle through what the content's going to be like. I'll just see if anybody's got any questions so far. So I don't, if you've got any questions, do pop in there. But yeah, I'm going to be on the platform regularly, and I'm going to be communicating on there regularly. The platform that we've chosen, and I've spoken to several other different community people that run different communities, and they've been fantastic in sort of offering me advice and support and sort of recommending which platforms to go to. And I think we've picked the best one, because once you go on there, you'll start to see, once you've signed up, you'll be able to see who's local to you, as well as sort of what different members' interests are, and you'll be able to start creating your own little communities and subsections within the community. So we'll have little community pods within there which you can create and sort of get to know other people with. And particularly if you are in a place where you don't particularly know any sort of other knitters locally to you, I'm hoping that this will be somewhere where you can go and just do that. So in terms of the process, so at the moment we've got a waiting list building up. What we did say on our waiting list was the first 100 people would get a reduced rate. But what we've decided to do is, this first time it's open, that anybody that signs up in this first window will get the reduced rate if they sign up in the first 3 days. Because we've got so many of you already on the waiting list, we didn't want to restrict it. So if you sign up between the 22nd and the 25th of May, you will get the reduced early bird rate. If you sign up, we're going to stay open until the 31st of May. If you sign up later than those days, the likelihood is that you'll be signing up at the slightly increased rate. But we wanted to offer as many of you as possible the chance to actually sign up with a cheaper rate as possible. But do get on there quickly and sign up. If you've not already signed up to the waiting list, I've put the link in the notes below, but just go onto our website and look at the Cornish Knitter, and you can click on a link there, which the email will come straight to me, and I'll put you on the waiting list. And those of you that have already signed up to it, I will be sending you out. There's an email scheduled to go out to you on Sunday, just giving you some more information. But if you sign up on the waiting list between now and when we open, then I'll make sure that you get all the information on the 22nd about how you sign up quickly. So the options are that you can either pay monthly and you can cancel at any time. If you're signing up on the early bird offer, I think it's £9.95 a month, or it's £110 for the whole year. Obviously, this is in Great British pounds, so if you're in another country, it will be able to convert that into your own currency. If you miss the early bird offer, that amount will go up to £15 a month, and then I think it's £150 for the year. So what we've tried to do is make sure that the year is a cheaper option for you if you decide to subscribe. If you do sign up and you get the early bird rate, you will have that fixed for the whole year. So even if you're paying monthly, that will be a whole year's fixed rate for you, so that it's the incentive to sign up. But it will be really simple to do. Sign up to the waiting list. On the 22nd, you'll get a newsletter into your inbox, which will have the link to click on to actually sign up immediately, and you can go on, sign up there and then. If you don't go onto the waiting list but sign up just automatically, the link will be live on our website from the 22nd of May until the 31st of May. We will close the membership then, and then we won't reopen it probably until about October time. We want to make sure that the people that sign up early get the amazing experience, but also we start to shape the community so that you can actually help us sort of define how it's going to look and what it's going to feel like and what works for you, because that's what we want to. What time will the email come on the 22nd? It will probably go out about 8 o'clock in the morning, UK time. That's what time we normally set our emails. Will the masterclasses be an additional cost? Probably not. Some, if they're really big designers in the future, there might be a small supplementary cost, but initially, no, we're not going to add on additional cost to the membership. We want to make it as inclusive as we can. What I should also say is that if we get the early bird, will we get discount for entering in the second year? No, the second year it will revert to the full rate. It's just the first year you get your early bird discount on, as I understand it. We might change that, but at the moment that's how we're looking at it. So you'll get a year's discount on the membership, and hopefully you'll feel that it's really worth investing in. But one of the other things that we did want to do, as I said, I'm really keen that whatever we do, this is about sort of trying to cover the costs of, because there are quite a number of costs and time, and I'm asking people's time to do this. So I'm having to pay other people maybe to create content as well. But what we want to do is offer a 5% bursary scheme on memberships. So 5% of the total membership that signs up every time, we will offer for those that genuinely can't afford it and can demonstrate that they can't afford it. We will offer some bursary memberships so that people are not excluded just on the basis of cost, because I really do want to try and make sure that this is as inclusive as possible. What platform are you going to use? It's called Mighty Networks, Linda. So that's the platform that we're using, which is the one that seems to be the most effective and the most popular with people that are doing these sorts of communities online. Any other questions on here? So lots of you look like you're looking forward to joining, so which is great. Yeah, Linda, you know it. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you've sort of used it, and it's really good, and you guys can share all your knits and sort of chat and help each other and support each other. I know Facebook is an option for communication, but I just wanted this to be a really secure and safe platform, which has a lot more functionality than Facebook, and not everybody likes being on Facebook for a variety of reasons. So this way we can sort of try and encourage as many people to be on there as possible. So Jackie, you're on that network, so you will understand how it works as well. It looks like it's got loads of functionality, and yeah, we'll be exploring all of that functionality as we go. So when you sign up on the 22nd and beyond, you'll see that there is some content on there. We'll keep adding to that as the membership sort of window opens, that you'll get to see what the content is, and then we'll have a Zoom launch party on the 1st of June. So there will be a Zoom launch on the 1st of June where we'll hopefully get a number of you who can join us and get together. For those of you that live overseas, we will try and make sure that we do Zooms that will fit in with your times as well. But the idea being as well, once the community is established, if you live in the US, for example, maybe a group of you would like your own little Zoom happening in your own time zone as well. So you can start to create your own little micro communities within the community. So hopefully that's how it will work as we go forward. Any other questions that anybody's got? I feel quite naked. I haven't got my knitting with me, but yeah. So hopefully you can sort of see what the idea behind it is. We want to include everybody, but I'm sort of basing this on my own experience and the experiences of people that have shared their stories with me and emailed me personally about lots of things. I just feel that there's an opportunity for many of us who aren't able to connect for a variety of reasons, or want to learn from each other, and sort of maybe are slightly more mature as well in our sort of and on our knitting. With our knitting, we want to sort of still feel like we can knit all of the latest trends and sort of use all these lovely yarns, and we'll be helping you sort of think about how you can do that and how you can adapt things. So a lot of technical stuff on there, as well as the sort of chatty stuff, hopefully. Anything else that anybody would like to hear? Any questions from anybody? It's lovely to see so many of you have joined me. If we miss an event, will it be available to see it another time? Yeah, it will be recorded, Kathy. We'll be using Zoom as the platform within it. So it's embedded and it will automatically record them, so you'll be able to see them. And any of the sort of master classes and everything will be recorded and permanently available on there. And once we get more and more content, we'll start to make sure that it's easy to navigate your way around as well, so that you know where to find things when you're looking for them. So, okay. Well, any more questions, please pop them in the comments afterwards. If you're watching this after I filmed it, pop them in the comments afterwards. And as you know, I always do try and go back to everybody that comments. I think it's, you know, if you take the time to comment, I think it's right and proper that I go back. And I love reading your comments and seeing what you've got to say and coming back to you. You often give me a good old chuckle as well. Particularly some of you sharing your stories about Spanx with me after my last video. But have a lovely Friday, and lovely to thank you so much for joining me, and hope that's explained a little bit more about the online community. If you haven't signed up to the waiting list, get on there, because that way you'll instantly get the link on the 22nd, and you can sign up and join me, because I'm really excited. I'm really excited to actually see some of you, as well as sort of communicate in a different way. So lovely to see you. Bye, everybody.